What is up, everybody? It's your boy Leonard the Pharaoh back at it again with another YouTube video. It's been a while. It's been a while. And I'm sorry for it, but like, when I do it again, props. Welcome back. If you're new around here, hi. I'm a bit crazy, a bit mentally unstable. But we move and we like it about me. Yeah, honestly, I don't know too. I keep saying, I'll make more videos. I promise I'm making. And you know what, Shame? I'm not lying. I am not. I have so many videos that are unedited. I just hate them now. Sorry about it. Yeah, you might notice I'm in a new setup. This is my new room in Riz. I really love it. It's very serene. It's very me. Look at that. That's meticulous. It's simple. It's yellow, black, gray, white. I'm living for it. So I like my new aesthetic. So hopefully you get to see more of it. But yeah, let's talk. Oh, did you see that? It's a thirst trap. I'm gonna stop making an OnlyFans. Okay, so I think today, or I want to talk about today, is something that I just feel like is very near and dear to my heart. And you already guessed, the title of the video is Insecurities and Self-Esteem. And why this topic? I don't know. I was in the shower looking at my disgusting body and I said, oh, insecurities. Jokes. But that's basically sort of the premise of what is life, what is insecurities, what is self-esteem. And I think before I start this video, before I could even talk about this, I just have to sort of go about defining what insecurities and what self-esteem are to me, but also through Google. So when I do the little tappity tap situation, so when I Google this, Google basically says an insecurity is something that a person has that makes them lose confidence in themselves, whereas self-esteem is how they find value within themselves. So it's like insecurity is talking about a lack of confidence, whereas self-esteem or low self-esteem is basically a person not being able to see the true value or value in themselves. And this is something that's very interesting because I've had fluctuating self-esteem issues and fluctuating insecurities for all of my life, right? Like when I was younger, like as a toddler to like 10 years old, that vibe, something that I was very insecure about, that I had long dreads. I looked really feminine because of the long dreads and because I was a bit chubby and because I was light skinned, and that combination somehow meant that I looked like a very pretty girl, which I mean, I guess go off society. But when I was younger, that's what I grew up being told, oh my god, he looks just like a girl, and it made me very insecure because I was like, I'm a guy. Nothing's wrong with looking like a girl, but it's just like for a kid growing up to know their identity, to be constantly told something else, like people would literally like, are you sure you're a guy? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. So I was insecure about that when I was younger. Then as I went to high school and all that, my insecurities became more like my weight and my height and my acne. So those were things that I was insecure about, but I still, despite my insecurities, had a very good sense of self-worth, just because my self-esteem was not tied to any of these things. Like, it's very important to note that your self-esteem can't really be tied to an insecurity. Like, and if it is, that's the problem of having low self-esteem. For instance, if your nose is your biggest insecurity, you're not gonna derive your self-esteem from having a good nose, quote unquote, or like, because then you will just never really think you're a person of value, because the one thing that you think is of value in your body is something that you're insecure about. So if you want to have a good self-esteem, your self-esteem simply cannot be tied to something that you are insecure about. It just doesn't make sense. So that's why I never really had a low self-esteem. While in high school, I had lots of insecurities which made me feel bad, but I still knew that, hey, of all things, I'm a person of worth, and I'm good at what I do, and I'm good at my life, you know what I mean? And by that, I mean my self-esteem in high school was tied to my marks. It was tied to me being smart. And, you know, that's also very relative, because I've come to know that smartness and intelligence just is based on so many other things apart from academics. But back in high school, academics were my one good thing, and I knew that I could do that, and so that was what I derived my value of. I was a smart individual. I was a human being capable of, interesting and decisive thoughts that sort of changed my friendship groups. And you know, I had opinions of value, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not like other girls, I'm smart. So I know I had a very good self-esteem. Okay, so I'm editing this. I don't know, why am I lying? Okay, very good as a stretch. I had a decent self-esteem back then. In that regard, as a person, I knew my worth, right? But here's where it got tricky, because like in university, when I got to mid school, everyone was as smart as I was, if not smarter, because these people are monsters. People are smart. It's insane. And then I started feeling insecure about my one good thing, about my one thing that I derive my value of. So then I had low self-esteem. I had no idea what I was worth, because the one thing I was good at was no longer a thing anymore. And that's when it sort of interlinked to me, right? And so I had to basically rebuild my self-esteem and what my brand is and what Luyanda is and who I really care about and what I really care about. And yeah, so I eventually got to a point where, you know, I was in a good place, and I could again, you know, halfway through second year, I don't know, despite the chaos of it all, I started becoming more myself and finding other things, because if I wasn't the smart guy, I had to rethink, what else am I good at? Who am I without my academics? I can't have my self-esteem tied to my academics. So what is my self-esteem now going to be tied to? And my self-esteem basically, I think, for the past few years has been tied to my ability to be comfortable with myself. And that sounds a bit vague, but it just basically means that understanding that I'm not a perfect human being, and that I have insecurities, and that I do have like, just, I go through a lot as a person. Understanding all of that, the complexities that is to be a human, but being okay with the person that I am, made me a person who found worth in myself. I was like, listen, this dude is depressed. This dude, he's not, doesn't have the perfect skin. This dude is a mess. He's just financially going through things all the time. He's irresponsible, but he's also funny, and he's also a good person. And so I just holistically, as a person, I was able to find good qualities within myself and bad ones too. But I was like, listen, pros and cons, holistically, objectively, I think that I am a good person, and I am confident in the person that I am, because I am doing my best. So self-esteem tied to me being me, basically, right? Which is good, because if I can always accept myself for being me, then my self-esteem will always be good, right? Right? If only that's how life worked. Yeah. So I don't know how, or I don't know when, because I told you that in high school my insecurities were tied to my insecurities were basically my weight, my height, and my acne, which faded away, by the way. Like, my height, I'm a very short guy. I think I'm what, one, I was, wait, I was 1'5", I was 158, and then I was in the hospital, and I measured myself, and the measuring thing, that, what do you call the, you know those weights that have the measuring thing, it basically said I was like, I think it said I was 167, which is obviously a lie. I think I did it wrong, but I'm gonna take it. But anyway, my height was not really an issue for me for a long time. I'm a short guy, still not, love it. My skin, you know, I'm working on it. It's not perfect, but is it gonna unravel me? Am I gonna think that I don't have worth because of this? No. One thing that did creep up though was my insecurity about my body weight, because during lockdown I gained so much weight, and it was so unprovoked, because even though my weight had been a very big insecurity in high school, around grade 11 to basically second year, I was a very stable weight, and I knew what my weight was. So my body wasn't really fluctuating in very drastic ways over the past 3 years. So when it was during lockdown and I gained a lot of weight, like I think I gained like 20 kg, roughly. I think it was 18 kgs during lockdown, and then I felt horrible. And then, you know, it wasn't just about the weight gain anymore. It was what made me feel bad and what made me lose worth was because I don't know what went wrong or what I did that accumulated this weight. It wasn't like I've been eating healthy. I haven't been working out in general. Like, this is before lockdown, and I wasn't a person who worked out. I wasn't a person who ate healthy. My diet technically never really changed. My exercise never really changed through lockdown, yet I was gaining more weight, which is something that I couldn't control, which was something that I said, hey, understanding yourself, you have a person with, you have a good sense of worth. Why is it that this is something that's so beyond your control? And then somehow my insecurity became something that gave me low self-esteem. It got really, really dark in December. And the thing is, the thing that really pushed it over the edge, it wasn't about the weight gain per se. It was more how the weight gain related to me being me. The clothes that I had bought, the outfits that I liked wearing, they weren't fitting anymore. You know, the scrubs for university, they weren't fitting. Nothing fit. And I was just in a point where I was like, this one thing that I didn't really change out of nowhere just came up and unraveled me. I had to buy a whole new wardrobe. Not really. I had to buy more clothes actually. I had to buy new pairs of scrubs. I had to buy some more pants because none of the pants I had fit. So to go from that, like, to not caring about my weight and my weight being something that's stable, and to have it be something that's so prevalent and such an insecurity of mine, that 180 meant that I was not sure on who I was. I know it sounds dramatic, but like I just wasn't. I was like, oh, so vele, if things can change like this, who am I gonna be in a year? Am I gonna be, you know, is my skin gonna break out to the point of again being an insecurity to the point where I don't find worth in myself? So it's that uncertainty of being like, yo guys, I don't know. Yeah, and so as a person, I just felt shaken, and being shaken is something that I haven't been in a very long time, because I was very much affirmed in who I was. So yeah, then I had low self-esteem and raging insecurities through December till now. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not insecure about it anymore, but I will say that there was a very dark time, particularly in December. So trigger warning, if anyone has eating disorders, I'm about to get a bit, you know, more graphic and detail about this, but during December it got really bad to a point where I thought of like inducing vomit. I thought of like just throwing up everything I ate, and that was a very particular day when I was just sad and I was crying and I was calling my friends to be like, I just don't know what to do. You know, my weight hasn't been something I even thought about, you know, for the past 3 years, but now it's the main thing in my life, and to have that shift in 180, I was unraveled, and I just felt like my body was betraying me and who I was shaken. And I was like, well, you're so weak that a little bit of weight gain kind of unravels you. So yeah, but I had to sort of work through that. And how I basically worked through that, it's not an easy process, different for everyone, but just for me personally, what I did was what put me to that edge was looking myself in the mirror. And I decided, let me just look at myself in the mirror, naked. Yeah, that's right. I said, take it off. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, listen, bruh, this is the body that you got. It's the body you're gonna die in. Despite my best efforts to, you know, become Beyonce, jokes. No, but I was just literally in a point, I was like, this is my body, and it changes. Like, the body you have is yours forever, but it does change. I will gain weight. I will become saggy one day. I will, a lot will happen. I might be in an accident. I might lose a leg. I might lose an arm. What does that mean? Does that mean I will continue to be unraveled by each thing that happens, like each weird, you know? And I just had a moment where I was like, listen, your self-esteem can't be tied to your body issues like this. Like, you can't be unraveling to the point of, you know, because technically speaking, if you're gaining weight and your clothes don't fit, you can just buy more clothes and then your clothes fit. You know what I mean? Because everything has a solution. If you're hungry, you eat. Solution. If you are, yeah. So it's like, there's a solution to this problem. Right now, none of your clothes fit and you feel terrible. You don't have the confidence. You don't reckon the clothes the same way. You know, get more clothes. You know, get clothes you feel comfortable in. Be comfortable in your own skin. That was a solution. But I just basically had to talk to myself and what that meant. And the reason I'm even sharing any of this is because I went through a thing in the past few months where I genuinely was just shaken. It was literally the last bit of 2020. I was shattered, and I'm proud of myself because it didn't take me to a very dark space. I didn't at any point feel suicidal. I didn't at any point, you know. So I've gotten better at handling these things. But I just want to have a talk with you guys and just realize that your insecurities, everyone has them. We all have insecurities, but your self-esteem can't be tied to your insecurities, because that's what breaks you. Your self-esteem has to be tied in something that is unbelievably you and unique. And it's not like you can just decide to change. Like you can't be like, oh, today my self-esteem will be tied to my ability to watch Drag Race for a whole day without eating. You know, that's, you don't decide. But you can also constantly be reevaluating what bothers you, what triggers you, and what innately makes you feel good or bad, and what you derive value from. You know, do you derive value from being a good friend? Do you derive value from being desirable in the relationship atmosphere? Which is, again, a whole different video. If one day I might talk about desirability. Let me give myself ideas. But yeah, it's just basically like, yeah, man, your insecurities and self-esteem are a very real thing. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like we just stopped talking about, like, I just feel like we got to a point where we're constantly talking about body positivity and being comfortable with oneself, but I don't think I've heard the words insecurities and self-esteem come up a lot in the past few years. Just for me personally, maybe you're in the atmospheres, but like I hear stuff like, yo, body positivity, and that's good, that's great, but and I think it's great that the narrative has changed to more positive things. But I don't know, I was sort of shocked by the idea of me questioning my self-esteem and my insecurities at 21. I was like, I thought I'm an established person. I've been through this in high school, I've been through this in university. I'm tired of it. So yeah, man, insecurities and self-esteem. Just, oh, I got an email. Oh, that's disgusting. And yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're not battling any dog demons, and if you are, I hope you're doing it by looking good. I mean, I know I do. Can I just say, to be someone who has self-esteem issues and constantly have a God complex at the same time, it's like, I don't know, am I even a good person? Am I even worthy of love? Am I even, you know, doing life right? But also, have you seen me? Like, look at me. Like look at me. Look, I'm kind of cute. So it's like, do I have low self-esteem, or do I think I'm the reincarnation of God? I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very different. It was like a peek in my life, but like, it's like, do you guys even care? Oh my god, if the comments are like, we don't care, bruh. That'd be so hurtful. Jokes. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, a bit more serious, a bit more, you know, wada. I think I might be making more videos where I just talk about my opinions on things and my life and how I see things, and that's okay. I'm not promising more content. I'm not promising anything because my life has been extremely busy, so I don't know, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of it down below. Please like this video and subscribe for more content. And you know what? I will continue to share my opinions on things no one asked for. So, bye.